Welcome to another episode of Connecting Live with me, your host, Lydia Daydal. I'm delighted I'm going to be joined very soon by soon-to-be professional boxer Owen Durnam, former amateur champion. So he should be joining us very, very quickly, and we'll get him connected. Let's see where he is. Give us a moment. We get him all. Owen, I have you here. Just click on it and you can join the live. Hi!
All right.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Look who I'm here with!
Look what I'm here with. It's a good saying, not to be fair.
How are you?
I'm very good, just working, to be honest.
Good
What about
stuff.
yourself?
Well, I wanted to get you on because your friends, best friends, and your teammates, Bree Wright, is here with us in the office. She came in this morning. She was like, "Oh my God, you have to get Owen on a live." And I said, "Oh, you know what? I actually wanted to get him on, but I didn't have your number. So here we are." She sent me your number. I got you on the live. But I wanted to get you on to talk to you, obviously, about the big news, new signing, new contract, new management company, soon to be professional. An exciting time for you.
Yeah, definitely. I can't really wait, to be honest. Obviously, I did good in the amateurs, got to the national final, and then it's just the next step now. So can't wait, and hopefully you'll be supporting.
So absolutely, you know I will, 100%. But what was the decision to turn pro at the moment? You know, like, why now? You know, why not wait, stay amateur for a bit longer? What was the decision behind it?
Multiple things, to be honest. I feel like Easy had just been starting GBM Sports.
Yeah.
So that's my management team. And then I just thought, wait, why not? And then not only that, what else can the amateurs really offer me? I thought everybody in the amateurs. I might as well turn over and earn a bit of money for it.
So I've heard, you know, in terms of your amateur career, that you've got quite a large record. You fought a lot of times in the amateur.
I couldn't even tell you how many.
Do you have a number? If you were to give a stab of a number, what would it be?
About 76 to 78,
wow.
But
okay.
I can't tell you.
Okay, so that's impressive. So you feel like you have the experience and you're ready for the pro ranks?
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously with like the team, everyone else is professional, who's sort of my age, to be honest, and just a little bit older. So it's like it's my time to go pro as well.
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I'm only 21. So only a baby.
So you're only a baby.
Yeah.
But like, obviously you're a gym, Manor Boxing Academy in Sheffield. You know, for the gym, the caliber of fighters that Roger and all the team have there, and the coaching team are looking after you. You know, there's a fantastic roster, and like you said, everyone is either professional or turning professional and have all these titles under their belts. You know, what is it about Manor Boxing Academy, do you think, that is sort of raising all these champions?
Just the work rate. It's just next to none. We're just always training, and then obviously because there's so many good kids, we motivate each other as well. It's always a competition. Mm-hmm. So say if I do 10 press ups, Bree will do 11 just to get under my skin. So then I have to do 12 the next time. Do you know what I mean? It's just little psychological games, to be honest. And really, training wise, the trainers, Roger, Keith, and Gary, put 100% into every single person. So it definitely has an impact. You get like one-to-one time, which is you wouldn't really expect, you know, with like a busy gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that's important? Because that's a really good point, Owen, in that, like, we see that so much where, you know, bigger boxing gyms that maybe have really high level elite fighters in them, they seem to get all the time with the coaches, and then it's the kind of lower level guys, the guys who are turning professional, they don't really get to have that one-on-one time. So is that what you think is the secret to the success?
Yeah, definitely. Like, they'll put more time in with the kids that necessarily aren't professional and stuff, just to get us all on sort of the same level. Mm-hmm. And then it's just nice, like anything. You could go to the trainers about anything. Could go to Roger, like just life advice, training, and diet. He's just always got your back. It's definitely father figures in the gym, 100%.
That's a really good point as well, because I think we see time and time again, you know, there's as much positive stories that come out of boxing, there's always going to be a kind of negative story about boxing or the community, or, you know, the business in the media. That there's always two sides of the story, right? But what I like to do, and what I think a lot of, you know, the positive boxing media like to do, is to highlight how good boxing or any martial art or any combat sport can be for a young child or a young adult that's developing. And it is that thing of, you know, coaches are not just coaches teaching you a sport or a skill. they're there for advice. Sometimes, you know, it might be even easier for young adults to speak to someone in the gym or to a coach than it would be to speak to a parent if they have a parent or a guardian at home, right?
Yeah, definitely, because like I said, it's like a home outside of home. Like you feel just as safe. It's a safe place to go, and especially for me, like I don't know, to say if I've got any stress from work or like just things just surrounding life. If I go into the gym, you forget about it for that time you're training, and then when you get back
Absolutely.
out, you just start again. Life continues.
Absolutely. How old were you when you started?
I think I was 11, so I was
Okay.
just nice and young.
So that's a good 10 years.
Yeah, good 10 years, and then at Manor Boxing Academy, I think I've been here 2 years now.
Amazing. That's really good. So obviously turning pro, signing with your new management company with Izzy, GBM, is it GB Management? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Global Boxing Management.
Global
That's the one.
Boxing Management, right. So do we know when we'll have our first outing?
Not yet.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. To be fair, I'd like to get out as soon as possible, but it just depends. It's up to management when they want me out, and there's a few things to like sign and stuff, and then that'll be it.
What is the weight class? Do we know what weight class you'll fight at?
Again, whatever between Izzy and Roger, whatever they want me, I'll fight at. I thought is it super lightweight, so light welter?
Yeah.
64 kilos in the championships. So whether I be at that weight or whether I go down to lightweight, it's entirely up to them. Whatever they want.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And it is that thing as well, when you're a new professional, sometimes you might have to fight a little bit heavier, you know, a little bit lower.
Yeah,
it's just kind of getting the fights and getting the experience in under your belt. That's kind of it, right?
Well, yeah, it's a completely different sport to the amateurs, really, if you think about it. Longer rounds. And actually fighting men like every single time now.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things that I've got to deal with.
Exactly. I mean, do you, because although the journey from amateur to professional is quite exciting, and you know, a lot of fighters do, a lot of boxers do, and they do it very well, sometimes it doesn't always go to plan because the style of the amateur fighter is a lot different to the professional, and sometimes we don't see it translating. For you, you know, are you concerned about that? Are you worried about your style?
I feel like that'll benefit me 100%. I feel like the longer the fight goes on, the better I'll progress, and the better I'll be, just because I reckon I actually pride myself on my work rate. So I reckon like the longer the fight goes on, the more in my favour that it will go. Sometimes I felt like 3 rounds wasn't long enough. Although while you're in there, it does feel long. It's not in a sense as well. But it'd be exciting to do stuff like 8 rounders, 10 rounders, and even 12.
Yeah. I can tell already you're raring to go by even thinking about 8 and 10 rounders already. But if you had to describe your style to someone who didn't know your fight style, how would you describe yourself?
When I first started boxing, I could have a fight, but I couldn't box. Just couldn't box. I don't know why, don't ask me. Boxing, like, what is boxing? And then, obviously, learned how to box over time, got to Manor Boxing Academy, and then they just drill it into me now. Like, boxing first. Boxing first. You know you can have a fight, so boxing's the main thing. So I'd say I'm quite of an aggressive fighter, but I want to be a slickster, to be honest, like a Pernell Whitaker or something. I don't want to get hit.
Good. That's a good person to try and imitate, right?
Yeah, definitely one of the greats. So
what about fighters that are out at the moment, you know, guys that are currently either, you know, new professionals or, you know, champions? Who do you not maybe look up to, but who are you looking at in terms of like their careers and going, they're doing it right, and I hope I'm kind of on the same sort of path, if it were?
I'd say locally, anybody from our gym, like professional wise, just because we all follow the same dreams, so I know how hard they train. But I suppose you've got to look up to the likes like Canelo, like the pound for pound kings, because they're there for a reason, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you take much notice of what's going on in boxing? You know, like the different promotions that are out there, the different fighters that are getting signed to different promotions, or are you just kind of really busy and you don't really pay that much attention to it?
I just sort of just keep myself to myself, to be honest. Like, everyone's on their journey, but I'm obviously on mine, so it's just one of them things. Like, if you're saying it in the sense that, like, oh, do I know who I might fight in the future or stuff, I don't really pay attention, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
It's just one of them things. If we fight, we fight. If we don't, we don't. But
yeah, it's a good way to be. It's a good way to be. You're not getting caught up with everything that's going on. But I
Yeah,
have
and
to
like
ask
calling people out is not like my forte either. Like, I'm a respectful kid. I'm not one of them to
well, I
just.
was about to ask you, because this is the whole world that you're now going into, is that, you know, professional boxing is a business. You know, it is a sport
100%.
first and foremost, but it is definitely a business. And there's definitely ways in which people play the business, and ways that fighters, you know, roles that that fighters get into in terms of like their characters and selling fights and different things. So it's interesting to always see kind of, you know, how when a fighter turns over, how their journey in boxing unfolds, and if they become one of those fighters who's like, you know, calls out people on social media or in interviews or whatever it might be. But for yourself, you're saying that you just, you know, put anyone in front of me and fight anyone, is it?
Well, yeah, I feel like every fight is the same. I wouldn't say I'm like the only one that'd say that. I feel like every fight is the same. Obviously, the fighters want to fight, so that's why we're in the sport. But I'm not one of them to like call people out and stuff. Like I said, if we fight, we fight. If we don't, we don't. It's just one of them things. But I don't want to be calling people out and then people pay to watch me lose. Like, I'd rather people like to be supporters instead of haters.
100%. And let's talk about your fight name, which I'm sure it is your fight name. Is it the Boxing Geek or the Boxing Nerds?
Yeah. So my
is this going to be your official fight name? Is this 100% what we're using?
Well, I don't know about official fight name because they call me the Omen.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm called the Omen. That's what like my name, obviously Devil Child. But pretty much for like the looks. So the Boxing Nerd, yeah, it did hit off, and obviously we like the bullying story and stuff.
Yes,
just makes perfect sense, to be honest. Why not?
Yeah, it really does, and it's like it's so clever and it's so smart, and it immediately, you know, if you hear that, you know it's you. You know, there's no confusion.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's genius marketing.
Yeah, true, very true.
But listen, before I let you go, because I know we just want to have a quick chat, just introduce you, and I hope that we do something bigger in the future. Either I'll head down to Manor and we'll do some like more interviews or whatever it might be. But let's talk about your relationship with Bree, because it's an exciting time for you and Bree, right? Yeah. She's just signed her contract with One Empire Management. She's about to turn professional. You know, so it's exciting that both of you are such good friends and you're both now on this professional journey together.
Yeah, I've got nothing but love for Bree, to be honest. I'd say we are, if not the closest of the people in the gym, but she's definitely like one of my best friends, 100%.
And what do you reckon? How is she going to do in the professional ranks?
Oh, world champion, definitely.
100%.
It's just, I feel like it's there for the taking as well. Like, she could literally just progress and just go all the way. And obviously that's why she got signed to Empire, because they see the same goal. Yes. Good marking.
Your check's in the post.
That's it.
Well, listen,
another question though.
Go on.
How did you get into this then? Like, because I've always wondered.
How did I get into this? I used to do music. I used to sing. I was in a band for 10 years in my 20s. And then I left that and I was like struggling with what I was going to do. I didn't know, you know, what I wanted to do next. So I started jiu-jitsu. And I started training and competing in jiu-jitsu. And when I was competing, I was like, God, this is like a world, you know, where people don't really know about. There was so much going on. I started going to MMA fights. I started going to boxing shows. And I was like, who's covering all this? Like the behind the scenes, the local grassroots communities, you know, there's so much going on and it's never highlighted. And it still isn't. Yeah. I try my best to do it as best I can, but there's so much opportunity for so many people to cover it, the sport at like grassroots level all the way to professional. So I started going to shows and filming on like Snapchat and Instagram story. And then it just got really popular. And I was really bad at interviews at the start. Yeah, like I'm not a journalist. I have no journalist background, but I love talking to people. So it just grew and grew and grew. And now it's like 7 years later and here we are.
7 years? Is that how long you've been doing it?
7 years, yeah.
Play. I want to say I've seen you singing as well with Dominic Ingle.
Yes, yeah. Every time I meet Dominic Ingle, we have a sing-song.
Oh, that's fair enough.
It's inbred in us. All Irish people have to sing at every opportunity or you're not Irish.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know. I'm not Irish.
Well, listen, go on.
Sorry, who's last thing? Just because I want to interview you a bit as well.
No problem, no problem.
Who would you say is like your favourite person you've interviewed as such? Like who You might not have a favorite, but who do you like speaking to? You can send me, but yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
My favorite person to interview,
Mhm.
and you really shouldn't have any favorites in this industry because
Oh no, but
someone gets offended somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think in terms of someone who will properly have a good conversation with you, isn't afraid to be opinionated, isn't afraid to say something that might cause offense to somebody, it doesn't play it safe, and who is very, very interesting. And it would have to be Sonny Edwards.
That's fair play. Yeah, he just says how it is.
He says it how it is.
Yeah, his
I
Twitter
had him
as
in
well
2
makes
weeks
me
ago
laugh.
for a podcast. It's meant to be an hour. He was here for 3.5 hours. The last time we had him on the podcast, it was meant to be an hour. He got here at 2 p.m. We left the studio at 10:30 at night. So he knows how to talk. He's very interesting, very charismatic, very clever, very smart, and obviously a world champion. So ticks all the boxes.
Hopefully I can take the limelight off him, and then I can be your favourite then.
You're my second favourite.
Oh yes, thank you. Appreciate that.
Have you any more questions? Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. That's it.
We're done. Okay,
nice
good stuff. Okay, well listen, I will let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. Lovely to speak to you. And as I said, I hope there's loads more interviews that we do down the line, and I'm really excited for your professional debut as well.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll see you later.
All right, bye love.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.